Welcome to orientation lecture for real-time operating system. I am Dr. Swapnili Karmure. Today we will cover orientation lecture for real-time operating system. In the today's lecture, we will study following points, that is prerequisite of the subject, course objective and outcomes for the subject, real-time operating system introduction, why there is a requirement of real-time operating system, and examples and the application of the real-time operating systems. So, prerequisite of the subject. What is the meaning of prerequisite? Prerequisite is nothing but before studying the real topic, there should be some prior knowledge which will helpful us to understand the concept of the main topic. And here we have to study the real-time operating system, and the subjects which are essential before studying this main real-time operating system are operating system and embedded systems. These subjects are prerequisite of this subject. It is essential to gain knowledge of these two subjects before starting real topic. If we have prior knowledge about these two subjects or introductory knowledge about the subject, then it will easy for us to understand all the concepts of real-time operating system. So we will start with what is an operating system. The figure shows the how OS is able to manage, control and handle all the devices together. In this figure, operating system is responsible to manage, control and handle the monitor as well as printer, mouse, keyboard, hard drive and application. Means number of applications are connected over one operating system, and that operating system is responsible to handle all together. So if I have to define the operating system, I can say an operating system is system software that manages computer hardware and software resources and provides common services for computer program. The operating system is again categorized into single user operating system, multi-user operating system, and in the case of single user operating system, it is divided depending on the task, that are nothing but a single task system and multitask system. So single task systems are that system which performs one task at a time. The example of single task system are PDAs. They require single user single task OS such as Palm OS, Windows Mobile. Second example is Microsoft Disk Operating System, MS-DOS. We all are familiar with this. Then another is multitask system. It performs simultaneous tasks. Windows, Mac OS, Linux are the example of multitask system. Traditionally we have already used this OS, but nowadays some advanced OS are available in the market. So next topic is why there is a requirement of operating system. The operating system job. Your computer's operating system OS manages all of the software and hardware on the computer. Most of the time there are many different computer programs running at the same time, and they all need to access your computer's central processing unit, CPU, memory and storage. Let us take an example of our mobile phone. While operating our mobile phone, we want to make a call to our friend, as well as we want to listen the music, we want to watch the video, and we want to search something on the web. Means there are multiple tasks we have to handle together. So operating system is responsible to manage and control and to handle all the things together, because this operating system is only the system. It is the bundle of software which access our computer's central processing unit, memory and storage. So if I have to give answer to the question what is an operating system, I can simply say it is nothing but a middleware or system software between the application, hardware and the user. We will see some most popular desktop operating systems: Linux, Mac OS, Android, MS-DOS, Ubuntu, BlackBerry, Apple, Microsoft Windows, and so on. The graph shows us the uses of the different type of operating system. The green part is shown by Windows 10. Windows 7 is shown by blue part, that is 48.91%, and another operating system like Windows 8.1, Windows XP, Mac OS, Linux, Windows 8 are given by some colored fraction. And from the figure it is observed that Windows 7 and Windows 10 are mostly used operating system. Now we have to study the classification of operating system. While classifying the operating system, depending on its user, depending on its task, depending on processes, depending on threads, it can be classified as shown in the figure. The first type is a multi-user, when two or more users can work with program and share peripheral devices like printer, scanner, fax. We can say it is known as the multi-user operating system. Second is multitasking, where multiple applications operated at the same time. Third is a multiprocessing, where more than one CPU that can be shared. Then multithreading, where smaller parts of a program are loaded when needed by OS. Now, first type, multi-user. It allows two or more users to run program at the same time. Some operating system permits hundreds or even thousands of concurrent users, and it is given by a figure where central processing unit is connected with three terminal A, terminal B and terminal C, and multi-user operating system share processor time via time slices, which is given by ABC. So multi-user is what? It allows two or more users to run program at the same time. Some operating systems permit hundreds or even thousands of concurrent users. Another type is multiprocessing, which supports running a program on more than one CPU. Means there is no need that only one CPU is required. The processes or program can be run on a more than one CPU. It is again divided into two types. First is known as asymmetric multiprocessing and another is known as symmetric multiprocessing. In the case of asymmetric multiprocessing, tasks are assigned to the specific CPU and each CPU has its own RAM memory. And in the case of symmetric multiprocessing, tasks are assigned to any available CPU and CPU can share RAM memory. Both cases are given by a diagram. In the first diagram, there are two different CPU and two different memory and two different application processes, which is known as asymmetric. But in the case of symmetric, there is a memory and application processes are common. These are assigned to any available CPU and CPU can share the RAM and the memory. So the next type, which is known as the multitasking, it allows more than one program to run concurrently, and this situation is given by the figure. That in the figure the man is operating his mobile, he is arguing, he is giving lecture, he is reading book, then he is working on his laptop showing checklist, and he is doing the multiple tasks together. So multitasking is what? It allows more than one program to run concurrently. Then last type, it is known as the multi-threading. It allows different parts of a single program to run concurrently. For multi-threading, we can take an popular example, which is a word processor. While performing word processor, or we can say that while development of the document, if there is a facility of graphic, you can able to add the graphic into that word processor. Then you are at a time responding to keystroke, and you can also perform the grammar check. Means word processor contains these three threads: graphic, responding to keynotes, keystrokes, grammar check, and these three threads are running simultaneously, running concurrently, which can be handled by central processing unit, and this is known as the multi-threading. Now This is all about the OS, which is the first prerequisite for the real-time operating system. Now we will study what are the second subject which knowledge is essential before studying the real-time operating system, that are nothing but an embedded system. It is a very important thing because as it is elective, so many people didn't opt this, so they don't know what is the embedded system. But while studying the real-time operating system, there should be introductory knowledge of embedded system. Unless and until you will not have a knowledge of embedded system, you can't give justification to the real-time operating system. So if I have to define the embedded system, I can say software embedded in a hardware. Software embedded in a hardware to perform some specific and dedicated task in a real-time interval. It is difficult to understand or remember the thing, so we can break the statement into three parts. First is what? Software embedded in a hardware. Second is what? To perform specific and dedicated task. And third is what? Very essential, that is in a real-time interval. Means when the software is embedded hardware and that software is responsible to perform important function to run that particular application, but there is a particular time bound, that time we can say that is the embedded system. Several times this question is asked in the interview or examination, that what is the difference between personal computer and laptops, and how can you will say that laptops are embedded system and personal computer are not. So answer is what? That where there is a time bound or where the things are embedded in a one thing, means in the case of personal computer all things are attached separately, but in the case of laptop all things are embedded together. So it is known as embedded system, and all the functions, all the applications of laptop are running in a particular time interval. So it is known as the embedded system. Very popular example for embedded system is our mobile phone. Okay, in the mobile phone, the software is embedded in hardware to perform some specific task. Which task? To make ISDN local or calls. Okay, at a time there are some extra features as provided to your mobile phone, that you can be able to click the images, you can able to listen the music, you can watch the videos, and you can perform the surfing over the net and so on. Okay, so this is the popular example for embedded system, your mobile phone. So an embedded system is a computer system. It's a combination of computer processor, computer memory, and input output peripheral devices performing specific and dedicated task or function within a larger mechanical or electrical system, where tasks must be completed in a real time of interval. It is shown in the figure, where software embedded in hardware, and green portion is known as embedded computer, where user interfaces, input output variables, and another system which are linked to this system are given. So what are the course objective of real-time operating system? Now it is done that we have studied that which are the prerequisite for the subject, that are nothing but OS and embedded system, operating system and embedded system. Because to make embedded system real-time one, this real-time operating system is playing an important role. So what are the course objective? Why there is a need to study this real-time operating system? To learn how to write application code for time critical embedded system under an real-time operating system. Another objective is to understand concurrent programming problems and their solutions, to choose appropriate real-time operating system for a given application, because we know that whenever you have to develop a application in a computer world, it may be vary depending on whether it is small scale, whether it is medium scale, or whether it is large scale. So we can able to choose appropriate real-time operating system for the given application while development. We can able to understand different scheduling methods and how they enable hard deadlines to be met, because we know that the timeline is very much important in the case of real-time OS. And OS is responsible to provide that timeline, whether it will be soft, medium or hard. And to understand real-time operating system implementation, course outcomes. What are the course outcome of this subject? To implement, after studying this subject, the student can be able to implement high level concurrent system design using multiple tasks with semaphores, message queues and event flags for inter-task communication. Student can be able to determine feasible schedule using extended RAM, analyze system for live log and deadlock issues, contrast different solution to priority inversion. They can be able to compare and contrast different real-time operating system implementation. Now, what is the definition for real-time operating system? So, embedded system is a computer system that perform a limited set of specific function. It often interact with its environment. And real-time system is what? Correctness of the system depends not only on the logical result but also on the time in which the results are produced. The figure shows the exact concept of real-time operating system, that embedded system lies, the real-time system lies within the embedded system, because the real-time system is called real-time when we need quantitative expression of time which is real to describe the behavior of the system. And non-real-time system are what? It is not associated with any time bounds, like mail. If I will send mail to my friend, there is no time bound. If there is no internet connectivity in my friend's computer, so wherever he will connect or whenever he will connect his system with internet, then only my email will be in his system, otherwise not. So non-real time system is not associated with any time bounds. Then this is the diagram which shows the differentiation between normal operating system and real-time operating system. Normal operating system are nothing but Windows, XP7, Linux. But if we have to study or we have to gain knowledge of real-time system, then real-time operating systems are VxWorks, WindRiver, QNX Neutrino, Windows Embedded CE, OnTime RTOS 32, then Euros and VxWorks. These RTOS virtual machines are connected to the devices and memories and hardware. These are connected with different cores. That core may be from 1 to n. So, why there is a requirement of such real-time operating system? The answer is what? Only because of embedded system. Because we have studied the definition of embedded system, but we haven't studied the part of embedded system or type of the embedded system. So real-time OS is developed in order to make the embedded systems. And what is the embedded system? Embedded system are nothing but a software embedded in a hardware to perform some specific and dedicated task in a real time interval. But how this time can be divided? So timeline can be soft, medium and hard. As I told you that whenever we have to develop applications are in small scale, medium scale and large scale. Like that, they are in need of the timeline which is in the form of soft, medium and hard. Okay, so application of embedded system having hard real time is difficult to develop. For that purpose, there is a need of real time OS. So we will see in detail what is this hard real time, soft, firm and medium type of real time. Whenever I will talk that there is a hard real time, meaning is what? That system where it is absolutely imperative that responses occur within the required deadline. Example, flight control system. In the case of flight control system, if the software which is responsible to give particular platform to the plane for landing or for takeoffing, so if that software gives some wrong value, then there is a serious accident which causes danger to human lives. So hard real time are that type of system where timeline is very much strict and very much important. We can take another example, which is pacemaker. Pacemaker is a device which is implanted in a human body, and the function of pacemaker is it is a medical apparatus. The function is what? To monitor the heart rate of the heart patient. If that pacemaker will give the wrong information, there is a harm to the human life or the person who is suffering from heart related problems, and that particular device will not give proper indication, then it is danger to the life of that person. So again here the timeline is very much important and very much strict here. Another type is a soft real time. The system where deadlines are important but which will still functions correctly if deadlines are occasionally missed. Example, data acquisition system. For example, if I am going to send you data and that data will not reach toward you, so there is no so much harm to your side. Or we can take another example of the CD tray. When we upload a CD in a CD drive, then tray comes gradually, and there is a timeline is given to the tray that within particular second the tray will out and you will put your CD, then you will push the button and then that CD tray will go inside and then CD will upload it. So here the timeline is what? Soft real time. There is no harm to the human being. Third is a real time. The system which are hard real time and which responses the time very short, like missile guidance system. If there is a mistake in a missile guidance system, there is a big harm to the human lives. So real time is another type, and the last is a firm real time. The system which are soft real time but in which there is no benefit from late delivery of service. A single system may have all hard, soft and real time subsystem. In reality, many systems will have a cost function associated with missing each deadline. I haven't a proper example, but I can explain this thing via the example of Domino Pizza. Okay, what happens with Domino Pizza? That pizza will not arrive in your home in particular time interval. Then there is a facility that you will not, you don't pay money to that owner. You say it that pizza, you haven't sent pizza in a particular time interval which is predefined. So it is a cost effective. Though this particular object will in your home, but that are not reached to your home into particular time, then you are not paying the cost. So the harm is what? You will not get the cost function. The cost function associated with missing its deadline in this case. The example for real-time system are railroad signaling system. Here the diagram shows the railroad signaling system function. When we will develop such type of application, then we have to study the function provided by rail and the function provided by road. This railroad signaling system contains several sensors, peripheral controls, traffic management system, and this all the things can be managed via particular single microcontroller, and that microcontroller is responsible to perform peripheral control of rail as well as road. In the case of peripheral control, the rail have to perform ticketing like data collection, then monitoring signals, then displaying stations. Okay, but in the case of road, the peripheral controls are what? Intersection unit like sensor detectors, traffic display, traffic light, vehicle devices. Means road had to take care of this and rail have to take care of this. So peripheral control for rail are example are interlockings and road are intersection units. So this is the user interface, vehicle intelligence is used in this case, and this is the example of the real time system, which is nothing but a railroad signaling system. There are several examples of the real time system which will give justification to the management, control and handling the thing together. So if I have to define the real time system, now I can say a real time operating system is an operating system intended for application with fixed deadlines. which are associated with real-time computing. Such application includes some small embedded system, automobile engine controllers, industrial robots, spacecraft, industrial controls, and some large-scale computing system. Means all the things of humans can be replaced by the this robotic system, or where it is impossible that human body will work, or it is impossible to survive for human, when that time we can develop such system, and which are very much dedicated for their particular function, and they are ready to follow the critical timeline, which is known as safety critical timeline. The example of the real-time embedded system are nuclear reactor control system, flight control system, basically, and safety critical system. Safety critical, what is the meaning of safety critical? That wherever there is a harm to the human being, if we will not follow the timeline, that type of system is known as safety critical system. We can take example of railroad signaling system, flight control system, nuclear reactor system, then pacemaker or medical related all the systems. These are what? These are the basically safety critical system. Then GPS, MP3 player, mobile phone, then real time but not embedded. The systems which are real time but not embedded are stock trading system, Skype, Pandora, embedded but not real time, home temperature control, sprinkler system, washing machine, refrigerator. These are what? Embedded but not real time. But in the case of microwave oven, it is a real time one, because whenever we are going to develop our particular dish, that there is a requirement of particular time for development of that dish, and you are you have to develop that system in a particular time only, otherwise the particular dish will not give proper taste or whatever you want. So these are the example of real time embedded system, and we can categorize them example, so that you can identify which are the real time but not embedded, which are embedded but not real time, and what are the real time embedded system. So why there is a need of real time operating system? Because in the case of embedded system, the timeline is very much important, and the application are developed depending upon the timeline, whether it is soft, medium and hard. And in the case of such specialized embedded system, there is a requirement of specialized operating system that are nothing but a real-time operating system. And the example of these real-time operating systems are nuclear reactor control, flight control, then any of safety critical system. And what are these system? The QNX Neutrino, VX Works, these are the real-time operating system. So thank you very much for patience listening.